Welcome back to our deep dive into one of the most dramatic and pivotal periods in medieval history, the Crusades. In our previous episodes, we explored the origins and outcomes of the First and Second Crusades. Today, we continue our journey with Part 3, the Third Crusade. This chapter will unravel the motivations, key figures, significant battles, and ultimate outcomes of the Third Crusade. Join us as we delve into this epic clash of titans and the enduring struggle for control of the Holy Land. Historical context. The Third Crusade was born out of a momentous and devastating event, the capture of Jerusalem by Saladin in 1187. Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, had united the Muslim forces of the Middle East and achieved a resounding victory over the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin. The fall of Jerusalem, the holiest city in Christendom, sent shockwaves through Europe and spurred calls for a new crusade to reclaim the Holy Land. Pope Gregory VIII issued the papal bull Audita tremendi in October 1187, calling for a Third Crusade to recover Jerusalem and defend the remaining Crusader states. This call to arms was met with widespread enthusiasm, and three of the most powerful monarchs of the time, King Richard the Lionheart of England, King Philip II of France, and Emperor Frederick I Barbarossa of Germany, pledged to lead the crusade. The call to arms. The Third Crusade, 1189–1192, was marked by the involvement of these three legendary leaders, each bringing their own armies and ambitions. Emperor Frederick I Barbarossa, also known as Frederick of the Red Beard, was the first to set out. At the age of 67, he led a massive German army through the Balkans and into Asia Minor. Tragically, Frederick drowned while crossing the Selef River in 1190, leading to the disintegration of his army. King Richard the Lionheart and King Philip II of France took separate routes, ultimately meeting in the Holy Land. Richard's journey was particularly notable for his capture of Cyprus, which became a crucial supply base for the Crusaders. The two kings arrived at the port city of Acre in 1191, joining the ongoing siege against the Muslim defenders. Key battles and sieges. The Siege of Acre was the first major engagement of the Third Crusade. Acre, a strategically important city on the Mediterranean coast, had been under siege by the Crusaders since 1189. The arrival of Richard and Philip in 1191 brought new energy and resources to the siege. After intense fighting and negotiations, the city finally fell to the Crusaders in July 1191. Despite their initial success, tensions between Richard and Philip soon surfaced. Philip, eager to return to France and deal with internal matters, left the Holy Land shortly after the capture of Acre, leaving Richard to continue the campaign. One of Richard the Lionheart's most significant victories came at the Battle of Arsuf in September 1191. In this fiercely contested battle, Richard's forces clashed with Saladin's army. Richard's tactical brilliance and the discipline of his troops secured a decisive victory, enhancing his reputation as a formidable military leader. The March to Jerusalem. Following the victory at Arsuf, Richard advanced towards Jerusalem. However, the journey was fraught with challenges. The Crusaders faced logistical difficulties, harsh weather, and constant harassment by Saladin's forces. Despite reaching within striking distance of Jerusalem, Richard ultimately decided not to lay siege to the city. He concluded that his forces were insufficient to capture and hold Jerusalem against potential counterattacks. Instead, Richard focused on fortifying the coastal cities and securing the Crusader states. He launched successful campaigns to capture the strategically important city of Jaffa and other coastal strongholds, ensuring a stable supply line and defensive positions for the Crusaders. The Treaty of Jaffa. The Third Crusade culminated in the Treaty of Jaffa in September 1192. After a series of negotiations between Richard and Saladin, the two leaders agreed to a truce. The treaty allowed the Crusaders to retain control of the coastal cities from Jaffa to Tyre, while Jerusalem remained under Muslim control. However, Christian pilgrims were granted safe passage to visit the holy sites in Jerusalem. The Treaty of Jaffa marked the end of the Third Crusade. While it did not achieve the primary goal of recapturing Jerusalem, it stabilized the situation in the Holy Land and ensured the continued presence of the Crusader states. The aftermath and impact. The Third Crusade had a profound impact on both Christian and Muslim worlds. Richard the Lionheart returned to Europe as a hero, although his absence had allowed his brother John to stir up trouble in England. Saladin, despite facing formidable opposition, had successfully defended Jerusalem and retained his status as a unifying leader in the Muslim world. The Third Crusade also highlighted the complexities of medieval warfare and diplomacy. The interactions between Richard and Saladin, marked by mutual respect and strategic acumen, have become legendary. Their negotiations and the resulting truce demonstrated the possibility of coexistence and compromise even in the midst of intense conflict. Conclusion. The Third Crusade was a complex and multifaceted conflict that underscored the enduring struggle for control of the Holy Land. It was marked by remarkable feats of bravery, profound acts of faith, and intricate diplomacy. As we reflect on the history of the Third Crusade, we see a vivid illustration of the interplay between faith, politics, and warfare. The legacy of the Third Crusade continues to resonate today, reminding us of the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity and the potential for understanding and compromise even amidst conflict. Stay tuned for the next part of our series, where we will delve into the Fourth Crusade, exploring its unexpected turn and the impact on the Byzantine Empire. Until then, continue to question, learn, and explore the rich tapestry of our shared history.